That's control, that's selfishness, that's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
You're basically saying you're a liar. You misrepresent who you are in the court of public opinion. They've lost. And note the consequence has been terrible for Blake and Ryan in terms of people following them. This is insane. What are you talking about? She genuinely is not aware of how insane
Hollywood's
she
golden
sounds.
girl has fallen into a $400 M nightmare. But this isn't a movie plot. Blake Lively's career is collapsing in real time, and the man she tried to destroy is watching it all unfold from a surfboard in Hawaii. This is the story of ego, lies, and a legal war that's rewriting the rules of celebrity power. Justin Baldoni's lawsuit wasn't just a defense, it was a financial atom bomb. Filed in January 2025, the 179-page document accused Blake Lively of fabricating harassment claims to seize control of It Ends With Us. Buried in the filings, receipts showing Blake praised Baldoni's directing skills months before labeling him a predator. Forensic accountants uncovered even darker details. Reynolds' production company allegedly strong-armed Baldoni to surrender royalties through veiled threats. The demand? $400 M, enough to erase Blake's $50 M net worth and crack Ryan's $350 M empire. Industry insiders whisper this could bankrupt Hollywood's perfect couple. But Baldoni's receipts were just the beginning.
There's a lot of comments that she puts in here that you're just like, why would you want to take over someone's movie? The outfits in this end are so out of touch. No, we don't want to watch bullies like Blake.
That's insane and that's crazy. And this is a reason why I think in the future people are just not going to work with her, because it's starting to add up. People are realizing that this is a pathology.
While Team Blake Lively may think they have the upper hand, sources say she has no idea what's coming regarding her battle with Justin Baldoni.
That over the last 30 days, she has lost 397,000 subscribers, okay? That is not a small amount. If you similarly go over to Ryan Reynolds, he's lost almost the same amount, 1,000 more than her, 398,000 subscribers. When you weigh it against Justin Baldoni, look at his statistics. Over the last 30 days, he has received 206, or you could almost say 207,000 additional followers.
Blake didn't just take Baldoni's movie, she locked him out of its debut. Security logs reveal Baldoni was barred from the It Ends With Us premiere floor, forced to watch his own film from a basement storage room. Witnesses describe Blake storming editing suites to demand final cut privileges, even reshooting scenes without Baldoni's input. The kicker? Studio emails show she threatened to leak career-ending footage of Baldoni unless he surrendered creative control. Her alleged text to producers, this isn't his story anymore. Her power play worked until the world saw through it. Numbers don't lie. Blake's fan base is evaporating. Since September 2024, she's lost 8,640,85 followers, including 3,63930 in February 2025 alone. Meanwhile, Baldoni gained 4,300,000. The reason? Leaked DMs showing Blake's team bribing influencers to smear Baldoni backfired. TikTok analytics prove Team Baldoni videos now get 4x more engagement. Even her Instagram apology post flopped. 73% of comments called her Amber Heard 2. Experts say this isn't just a scandal, it's a cultural rejection. Then came the magazine cover that lit the fuse.
There's a version of this where Justin Baldoni was just Michael Scott in The Office, where he's just saying inappropriate things, but not with any ill will. But Blake Lively, much more different culturally, more about the power and thinking that this is about the feminist Me Too movement and how dare you do this. So I found that incredibly telling. Hidden in a little footnote, her protection that, well, you know, I was told they were lawfully obtained. Yikes. Big yikes.
I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have, because the truth should be out there.
They're showing a little ankle, but not the whole leg, if you know what I mean. I'm sure she wouldn't approve of that reference. Too sexist. That's control. That's selfishness. That's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
The February 22, 2025 cover broke Blake. The illustration, Blake aiming a slingshot at Baldoni, mocked her as Hollywood's bully. But her response made it worse. She called the cartoon sexist, claiming it undermined female victims. Fans erupted. "You're the aggressor," hashtags trended. Deep dives into the article exposed Baldoni's Baha'i faith, led to cultural misunderstandings. Blake allegedly twisted into harassment claims. The cover sold out in hours, becoming a symbol of her downfall. Blake's PR team scrambled, but Baldoni stayed silent.
So she's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud. She claims he sexual harassed her and then By the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement, and Ryan Reynolds turned on him too. And then she claimed that he unleashed a bad PR campaign against her.
Witnesses are staying anonymous. They're terrified of threats and bullying. It's a very neutral and interesting piece. Now the Hollywood Reporter has seemingly outed the two actresses' names. They're pretty much being bullied to respond. Even if Justin was too huggy or whatever the heck, or said she was sexy, none of this warrants this. And you still have to atone for what you did.
You're admitting that you go in there and you're like, yeah, I'd like to be an actor, and then you take over everything. I mean, just imagine taking this out of the context of celebrities, and you like call a plumber to come fix your toilet.
Now Blake, allegedly, according to these sources, and there's a lot of stuff in here, whole piece is worth a read. Now Blake has shared with friends, allegedly, that she considers this a fight that's bigger than her. I want to go through some of these pieces because hear me out. Here it is. So from the outset, the feud's been framed as the newest chapter in Hollywood's ongoing fight for gender equality, one likely to be remembered as the spark that ignited the next chapter of the Me Too movement. On the other side is a billionaire producer, a novice filmmaker, director, and a small Baha'i, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I think it's Baha'i employees who believe they are simply living up to the moral code of their faith.
While Blake hired crisis firms, Baldoni surfed. His legal team's no-comment approach became a masterclass in reputation management. Leaked Zoom calls show his lawyers advising, "Let her dig the grave." It worked. Polls show 68% of viewers now see Baldoni as the victim. Even Hollywood's elite praise his restraint. Steven Spielberg allegedly called him the anti-Blake. Meanwhile, Blake's tearful Good Morning America interview bombed, with 82% of viewers calling it fake. Then Ryan Reynolds cracked under pressure. Ryan Reynolds' SNL 50th anniversary quip, "Why? What have you heard?" destroyed his likable persona. Social media erupted. Deadpool Me Too trended for days. Aviation Gin's stock dropped 18%, and Suntory halted his $30 Me whiskey deal. Leaked Slack chats show Mint Mobile execs panicking. He's radioactive. Worse? Baldoni's lawyer Brian Friedman told TMZ, "Real victims don't joke about abuse." Ryan's attempt to shield Blake turned them both into punchlines. Their brands weren't the only casualties.
You're basically saying you're a liar. You misrepresent who you are. Maybe that has something to do with why you're now being sued for promissory fraud, because you're admitting that you go in there. He's not a party to our case here in New York. That's what Brian Friedman did. He's just a savage. Brian Friedman is actually my spirit animal. He just slaps her down. I don't know what else to say. Probably because he probably doesn't take kind to just being manipulated. You know, you should have just been like, I want an extension because I don't have any proof. And there's something about this story that kind of violates our safety in a way of feeling like people were nice and then realizing that they were totally behaving like psychopaths and were doing something taking it so far as Ryan Reynolds did.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
A-listers are ghosting Blake. Colleen Hoover scrubbed every Blake mention online. Gossip Girl co-stars skipped her support screening. Even stylist Erin Walsh returned Blake's Met Gala dresses, telling Vogue, "Some stains don't come out." Studio emails reveal Netflix shelved her Lady Killer remake, while Chanel indefinitely postponed her ambassador deal. The reason? Insiders say she's seen as a manipulative liability who hijacks production. Then came the Amber Heard comparison. Gen Z crowned Blake Hollywood's new Amber. Side-by-side edits of her leaked texts and Heard's Depp emails went viral, racking 120 M views. TikTok lawyers dissected her lawsuit's strategic omissions, while Baldoni fans recreated courtroom scenes as Riverdale memes. The hashtag Baldoni is the new Depp trended for a week. Even Heard tweeted, "Time's up unless you're blonde." Blake's team threatened lawsuits, but creators doubled down. Now 47% of Gen Z think she's worse than Amber, but the final nail came from an unlikely source.
Did this publicity stunt last night where they went on SNL and Ryan Reynolds made this silly joke, this really silly joke. And it's it's SNL 50-year anniversary. And or Saturday night, whatever. Ryan Reynolds stands up and she's like, "How's it going?" He's like, "Good. Why? What have you heard?" And it was all, "Ha ha 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 ha. I didn't like him. Just gonna be straight with you. I didn't fucking like him." So they're both equally repulsive.
They're sort of radioactive. In one breath, Blake Lively is saying she was the subject of serious sexual harassment during the filming of It Ends With Us, and now they're making light of it on SNL's 50th reunion show. So tonally, it does seem off, and I can imagine people just wanting to stay away from it. You're going to catch shrapnel if you get involved in this drama at this point.
Exactly. I think it's so telling how confident she is to just say, I have no qualms lying to the director, taking control of their movie, pulling the rug from them. Like, oh my God. Well, yeah, that's because that's what you did. You knowingly admitted that's what you do. They want an actress, they hire an actress, they pay you to be an actress. That's your job. But then you do exactly what Justin's accusing you of.
Baldoni's high beliefs became Blake's undoing. The faith's emphasis on unity and respect clashed with Hollywood's ego-driven culture, something Blake allegedly framed as inappropriate behavior. Leaked Zoom depositions show her admitting she misinterpreted his spiritual practices as harassment. The kicker? Baldoni's legal team hired a Baha'i scholar to testify, exposing Blake's cultural ignorance. Survivor groups called it weaponizing trauma, and even feminists abandoned her. Now Hollywood's closing doors. Blake's rep as a control freak is now industry gospel. Leaked Sony emails describe her "It Ends With Us" tantrums. She'd rewrite scripts mid-shoot. Directors like Patty Jenkins openly warned peers never work with her. The coup de grace? Baldoni's contract clause granting him 15% of the film's lifetime profits, meaning Blake's scandal is padding his wallet. Her future? Anonymous PAs claim she's pitching a redemption documentary, but studios won't touch it.
She wrested his movie away from him and decided to try to hurt him with petty, made-up, out-of-context complaints when he pushed back even in the mildest way.
And imagine if Justin had just had known this, if this clip had gone viral before to avoid this whole mess. I'm just the entitlement of her that she thinks this is okay and like proudly displaying as we're women, so we can just lie and cheat and steal our way into control these big movies.
That I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing and the costume design and creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor.
Because I don't think she even realizes what she's admitting. Sometimes they'd let me and sometimes they wouldn't. And that then she goes further and says, I would just lie to them in the audition process and make them think I'm just an actress to do what they want. Blake Lively is caught in old footage revealing that yes, her secret plan is to always take control of the movies and lie to the directors.
And what it sounds like is that she's not interested in being a part of a team. She just wants to own it all. And that's fine. If that is your method of working, then do that. But you have to create your own projects. You have to put yourself in that position that you are in charge, not take it from somebody else.
And it's not enough. You don't even get to come to the premiere. You're not allowed in the premiere. Fine, but he goes in the basement when I show up. I mean, that's not authorship. That's not autonomy. That's control. That's selfishness. That's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
What is appearing to be such obvious forms of bullying.
This isn't just about lawsuits or followers. It's about power shifting from stars to audiences. Blake Lively bet on old Hollywood rules: manipulate, silence, conquer. But Baldoni proved truth doesn't need PR, just patience. As viewers, we're left wondering, when the final credits roll, will justice win or just the better story?